Hello, everybody. I want to talk about redesigning and redefining an organization, often known as organizational development. So, in essence, organizational development occurs and is a term later in an organization's life where something isn't working. We've designed an organization from the very beginning to create and to accomplish some mission, whatever that mission may be. And over time, because the public demand for a product or service changes, because the particulars of a product or service change. Libraries come to example. Libraries today are much different than 10 and 20 years ago, and those that don't adapt are certainly to see fewer customers entering that library and using its services. Just about any organization, in fact, is going to run into these issues where what they created that initiated the organization, whether it was a product or service, no longer holds that particular sway with the public, and therefore modifications must be made. Coca-Cola comes to mind. There's a great movement in the beverage industry to non-carbonated beverages, whether it's the Gatorades and Powerades or the different types of flavored water. In fact, we're seeing it's water with certain colored drops that make your water taste like lemonade or cherry. And that seems to be where more of the movement is moving towards, as opposed to a Diet Coke or a Coca-Cola. So it means that we need to assess and adapt, two of my favorite words, organizations to the realities of their future, whatever that may be. The reality today is certainly going to be different than a reality in a year or two, if that long. Long-term strategic planning is no longer 5 and 10 years. Instead, it's often 12 and 18 months. So what do we have to do to assess and adapt our organization? What do we need to do to design and redefine our organization? Well, first you have to know where you're going, which means that you have to determine and define your organization, define and redefine. The mission of today may not be the mission of tomorrow. Too many people create a mission and think that it's going to stand the test of time. It rarely does. Missions change. With missions, so do organizations. So the very first aspect of any type of development within your organization is this issue of where are we going to go? What does the future hold, at least for the next 12 to 18 months for our organization? Second aspect that you need is, what do you need? What do you need to get there? Now you know the future. You know what the future holds for yourself. And you have to ask yourself, what does it take? What will it take for me to get there? These are often resource issues. Do I have the talent in staff to get there? Do I have the financial capabilities that are going to allow me to position myself in that organization, in that industry well? What you need is often a fact-based aspect. Where you go, which is the first aspect, does take a little bit of conjecture. If everyone knew where they were going, if organizations knew where the public was going, it would be quite easy, but we often don't. The last is how to get there. How are you going to get to where you want to go? So now you know where you want to go, now you know what you need, and you need a plan, often called a strategic plan, to get you there. This means that you have to reassess your organization. You have to redefine and redesign the very nature of your organization. Here the key word is redesign. You're going to be moving people, organizational assets. You're going to be moving departments, creating departments. Redesigning how work flows within the organization. That is the fundamental aspect of organizational design and redesign. And so how to get there is often the toughest aspect. It's the one that causes the most consternation within the organization. Some stay, some go. Some do their current job, some do others. It is a time of rapid change, even destabilizing. That is what we look for in the future. We're looking at redefining and redesigning organizations, and it's done on a continual basis. It's an iterative process. Those organizations that do it well are certainly going to succeed over the long term. Those that don't, sadly, they're going to be very difficult times for organizations that don't realize that what exists today will almost certainly not exist tomorrow. Everybody enjoy the day.